We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In the garden where the green leaves sway, see bunnies rolling up, we light it all way. Mr. Getter's got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden Cultivation Network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden Cultivation Network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy, joy,
Freaking happy.
joy. Yes.
Yes. What a week.
It has been a hell of a week, man. We're starting to, while everybody else in northern Ontario was getting those crazy ice storms out there, we were like
We're getting
15
snow right
degrees, 10 degrees, sunny, warm. And now, as of today, we got some weather today. We were getting like hail and like ice. It was like snow, but it was ice. Like it came down like snow, but it's like ice pellets. It's crazy. Not like hail.
now. It is.
And like you could even I was looking out the window and you could even see like it was like on the ground like snow just building up. I was like, man, fuck. I've been laughing at
Yes.
not laughing, but I've been like, haha, my weather's so nice right now, and I just got mashed today. So
See,
that's
karma.
the,
Karma.
that's the karma that I get.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Not
last
laughing
week
at
we
all the
had
damage or anything. That was crazy what happened in up
yes.
where you guys are. The people without power for days, like 4 or 5 days or something like that. Like that's nuts.
Yep.
But
So last week we had two special guests come on. We had Jess and
did
Lawrence from Optic Foliar Spray. And that was a great interview. If you missed it, you could go back, or you
I
could
learned a
go
lot.
over, yes, or you could go over on Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network. You could also find us on Instagram under Garden Cultivation Network, Mr. underscore Organics, and Bunny Grows.
Yes. Miss Bunny got hit. She felt the wrath of Instagram this week. Her
Again,
account got
for
taken
like the
down,
fifth
so
time.
make sure you go give her a follow on the new account. It's under Bunny Grows.
Yes.
So no more Sea Bunny. It's now Bunny Grows. So
For
go over
now,
there, check her out, give her a follow, give her a what's up.
yes.
Yeah, brutal, man. I've just been watching
That was
everybody.
a
I've
great
been
show.
getting posts taken down. You got your post taken down. GCN got posts taken down. A bunch of other people are losing their accounts. Like it's crazy right now. So
I
yeah,
know.
spread the
I know.
love. Spread the love.
That's right. And this
But
week,
yeah.
I think we've been through almost everything. Is there anything
We
else?
actually now have dropped
Oh,
our
yes,
merch. So now you
yes,
can pick yourself up a cool garden cultivation shirt. I don't have it on right now, but
yes,
um
you can. And the link is posted in our bio on Garden Cultivation Network. You just click the link, or maybe J Rats will post it in the chat, and it will send you to the site.
I'll also eventually, when I remember, put it on YouTube as well. But I have to remember in order to do that. We'll see. One of these days.
And
Yeah, we got
Discord, we're also on Discord.
yep, yep. We have fun over there sometimes. We try to stream some of the fights and the Canada versus US hockey game we put on there, and we go in there and we shoot the shit sometimes. Not as often as we should, but we do once in a while. So
I haven't been
Up in
in there
there,
much lately.
stop in there, and join our server. And you might
Yes.
catch us in there having a live chat one day.
One day, one day.
One day. But yeah,
So this
are
week
you
we
ready
have a
for
very
tonight?
exciting guest. Yes.
We do.
Who do we
We
have
have
tonight,
Gambit
please?
Grow Solutions on tonight, and yeah, we're gonna learn everything all about his products, about his journey, how he got here, what he's doing, all of that. So I hope you guys are ready, because
Yes.
I am. You ready?
I am ready.
Here we go.
Oh, that's too funny, guys.
Going
The
on,
photo
man?
with Gran absolutely kills me. I'll go in a little
The
bit more
only
context.
photo that we could find.
Yeah,
There's very few photos of you online, even like on Google, everywhere.
yeah. So,
So
well, I also unfortunately got the Instagram ban hammer. We won't go too much into it, but yeah, that's.
yeah,
I think we were close to 7K followers. Had a lot more content. I'm a little scared now. I post a lot less, trying to do all the contributor work, stuff like that, just to try and stay under the radar. Trying to branch out to other platforms and
absolutely,
Discord,
yeah.
all that type of stuff. Just trying to diversify. Want to have ways in which people can find us. Um, yeah, L
Yes.
Grams is a great photo.
I
It's
actually reached out to Elle yesterday, and I'm like, "Man, do you have any pictures of Connor?" I can't.
oh
I
damn
was like,
man,
"There's one picture on his Instagram, and then I found another one of you holding the banner,
yeah.
but it was
Yeah,
I couldn't get it to not be blurry, so we went with Grandma."
you know what?
So
That's part of the journey, and we'll get more into that into detail for sure. But yeah, like there's just less content, just obviously just with our account getting taken down. But it's something I'm
yeah,
working on doing more of. I'm a one man show here at Gambit, so sometimes content creation is a little bit on the lower end of things, just because
yeah,
shipping out orders, product development, trying to really offer great customer service, which was a big reason in which like I joined or I started this company in the first place. Just felt like there's a bit of lack of that with some of the big players, and so yeah, but it's something,
I would definitely agree with that. That's the one
yeah.
thing that I love about like smaller companies, and especially companies that are like a one or a two person ordeal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, it's like you can it's crazy when there's more people, it's harder to get a hold of them, but when there's one or two people, it's like they want to answer your questions. So, you can reach them on Instagram or Facebook or email, whatever it is. They're just so much easier to get a hold of. So I love that
Mhm.
you have that going for you, for
Well,
sure.
the passion's just there, right? When you're a small team, like you can be just so agile with like all that you do, right? Because there's just way
Yeah,
less hoops to jump, and for me, right, like it's not just a business for me. It's like being a part of this community. Like this community's given me a lot. I've learned so much, like even prior to Gambit, when I started my kind of growing journey with my family, with my parents, and with a family member who suffers from, or who has, I won't say suffers, this is who has autism. And so yeah, that's kind of how we got into it. We're a huge farming family, and gardeners, so it just kind of like made sense. And so
I
even
actually think
even
today
Graham,
is Autism Awareness Day too.
it
It
is
is.
it
That's
is it
crazy.
is
That's good timing.
It
You
Good
know what?
timing.
Yeah,
be wearing
sometimes the
blue.
stars just align. It seems like it did for the. Oh, you're wearing blue. I love that. Yeah, seems like it aligned perfectly for the show. So first and foremost,
Yeah,
just
that's
thank you
cool.
guys for reaching out and having me on the show, and for everyone in the chat. Like so many familiar faces now. I'm meeting more and more people. I see people from the Discord. I'm seeing other
Yeah.
shows in the chat. Just out here supporting. So I just can't thank you guys
That's
enough. It's been a pretty
That's another
crazy.
thing that I really like about you is, like, I see you in the chats. You're
Mhm.
not just
Yes.
you're not just doing your thing, like, you're out there supporting other shows, other people that are doing what we're doing as well. Like, I see you in the chat just like I see all these people in here, so I think that's
I'm
cool.
trying to be better at it. I'm trying to be better. Shout out Norma for always letting people growing on. Because yeah,
Yes.
it's hard to keep track of the shows, the time changes, all that stuff.
My
And
goodness.
I'm in the midst of a huge order right now, ordering like a full 40-foot container, like working with like
Oh,
10
wow.
suppliers all by myself. So it's like I work during the day, like, you know, in the Discords, you know, creating content, working on development, and then all night it's like talking with, you know, people in other countries with language barriers, like really trying to like reinvent like certain products I'm working on where I'm just like, they can't, you know, they can't wrap their head around it. Like, for example, like I'm
Yeah.
working on our new 2-part solo cup system that's going to have a dome humidity lid, and
Nice.
they're so confused why I'm putting a cup inside of a cup with a vent on top, and like they just like, so it's things like that just
Yeah.
take time, but it's all part of it. And for me, it's you know, like I am also my brand. Like for me, like my word is my bond. Like I'm all about just like integrity, and you know, just really just like I value all the people that are in this community, and I know how hard
Yeah.
everyone works for their money, especially like during these tough times. And so, you know what, when they come and they buy Gambit and they support Gambit, like I never want there to be reservations. Like I want to, you know, go through every little thing in the product to make sure like there's no faults, there's no something that's gonna, you know, cause returns or breaks and stuff like that. So yeah, I really try to work hard on you know, just
It's
trying.
hard as a grower if you buy say a light, for instance,
Mhm.
and your light dies in the middle of a grow, and you got to send it back and then wait for a new one to get there. It's like you might as well just trash those plants unless you have a backup. You're in
Mhm.
trouble, right? So
For sure.
I love the fact that you pay so much attention to the quality, and you know how much that means as a grower yourself. You know how hard that can be if something goes wrong, and
100%.
And
And
for those people who don't know who or what Gambit growing is, can you explain a little bit before we get too far into everything?
no, that's totally fair. Sorry, it's just so
What
easy
kind
to
of
see.
products we're talking about, things like that.
Yeah, no. Bunny, thanks for getting us back on topic. I feel like Gannix and I we're type of guys that we just vibe out and just get, you know, a little carried
ramble.
away. So yeah, Gambit Growing is pretty much like a indoor growing equipment hydroponic company. We, you know, specialize pretty much in all things growing. You know, anything that like any type of home grower would need, like I try to offer. So we have an awesome line of clippers. So all kitchen grade, Japanese steel, full metal, so super easy to clean. You know, things aren't getting gummed up when you're, you know, using your isopropanol. It's not gonna wear away your plastics, your rubbers. So everything's like built to last. Like that's for me, everything is like quality driven. So that's in regards to, and so guys, I will also say I'm currently visiting my girlfriend a province over. So I brought as much as I could in my checked bag. So I couldn't bring a tent, couldn't bring a light.
Yeah.
And then we have other things too. Like, so, you know, I'll go into like our tents. Once again, I wanted to make a tent that was built to last. Like it's such a
Yeah.
big piece of the grow. And it's also like has a huge impact like on the environment, like throwing out a big, massive tent every couple of years, you know, I
Yeah.
thought was kind of silly. So, you know, we went with a really great tent design. So we went with a 25 millimeter pole, thickest on the market. I'm 210 pounds. I can do full on chin ups in our tent. It's insane.
I
2,000
saw
gallon.
the Cece video. I saw Cece's video where she
Yeah,
was
shout out
hanging
CC.
off of it. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. It's almost turned into a bit of a thing now where people are sending that in. Mind you, do it on
I
your
like
own
it.
accord, guys. If you fall, like, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but they are built to last like that.
Don't
And then
come and
also,
sue us.
yeah, exactly. And then in regards to like the design itself, like with being a grower, right? Like vent location, multiple side doors, like all those types of things I really think of. Like, okay, how can people get access to their canopy? Like how, you know, how can they work on their garden more efficiently? And so yeah, that's going to be offered, and it's going to only get improved upon in our new tents. So we're going to be offering
Nice.
5x5. The first, no, maybe not first, but there's not many of them. 5x3, 4x8, and a 5x10.
Ooh, I like the 5x3. That's cool.
It's cool because it's one of those things where
It
like we
is.
can still reach, like, you know, for us tall guys, we can reach right in the back, right? It's like not quite that
Yeah.
4 foot's a little bit long, a little bit big,
Yep.
and it sticks, you know, it's like a lot of people have a lot of room on their walls this way, maybe not necessarily as much this way, don't want it sticking out.
Right.
So that was
Exactly.
kind of a thought. So, and then
I'm
lights
just
too, like
looking around the room, seeing where I could stuff one of those.
no, for sure, for sure. And then light wise too, like everything's super super high quality diodes, drivers, everything like that
I
goes
gotta
through.
say, I love the design on the lights.
Thank
It's
you.
not plain. That's what caught my eye right away. I think it was L. I
Mhm.
seen the light and I'm like, hey, I like that.
Yeah. And what people don't know is like lots of people think like, oh, is that like a sticker? And it's like, no, like that's powder coat. Like that's like
Oh wow.
that's
Oh,
painted like
wow.
right into the aluminum
Like a
heatsink.
hydro dip or something.
Yeah, it's almost like a hydro dip. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of
So
what it looks like. Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
it's pretty slick. And then yeah, every component goes through ETL testing. So I literally have like a 40-page document from ETL or UL. Those are the two big players that certify electronics. So they go through every little component, every capacitor, switch, wire, and they make sure it's up to standard. This isn't
Nice.
something that all brands do. This ensures that like there's never going to be accidents. There's never going to be like, I do everything I can to ensure that like everything is up to the standards set forth by the US, by Canada. So, like I want to sleep good at night that I'm creating good products for the community, not only built to
Yeah.
last, but only safe. And unfortunately, not everyone does that. But you know what?
Yeah.
For me, like that's just how I function.
Yeah. Well, again, like you being a grower yourself,
Mhm.
you've been on the other side of this.
I
So
have.
you've dealt with these companies, you've dealt with other products before, so you know exactly what you as a grower would want, which I
I've
think
dealt.
is the coolest part about this whole thing is the fact that you are a
Mhm.
grower and you're not just the founder or the owner of the company. You're doing this like grower made, or how do you put it? I
Built
was
by
reading this
growers
on your
for growers. That's our
there you
motto.
go. That's
Yeah.
it.
There
And
you
I was
that's
trying to think
go.
of it. I was like trying to be slick. I read this earlier. I was like,
no,
yeah,
you're good, man. You guys kill it with the research and trying to find the photos and stuff. And yeah, apologies. Like I'm working, like I said, on a massive order right now. We're rolling out a new bar style light. I'm bringing out more 3D printed
nice.
tent accessories. So, another thing like that sells in all of our tents is, we've all kind of seen the deepen flower. You're running your inline fans just cranking and your walls just suck right in. So our tent expanders are something that we have. You can
Love
put these
those.
above and below your oscillating fans or any kind of accessories to kind of, retain tent rigidity, and also just protect your fans. That's one of the products that we have there. And then
I like
what
those because I've been seeing for a long time now people putting the coat hangers in the corner to do the
Oh my
Yes.
exact
God.
same
For
thing, right?
people, yeah, if people have coat
So,
hangers, like please reach out to me. Like I want to help you. Coat hangers are crazy. Like that's some barbaric shit, I'll be honest.
but I
But
mean, hey, the
yeah,
fact that people were doing this,
I
like
love it.
I've been seeing them doing this for years, and it's such a good idea.
Mhm. For
Like
sure.
to have that product that you made, like it's such a good idea because I feel like every other, not every other thing, but a lot of the things that start are, homemade, use what you got type of items, and then
Mhm.
somebody sees that and they're like, oh shit,
For
huh?
sure. Like, and
There's a
I
market
So,
for that.
MacGyver and stuff. I love it. It's
yeah,
just I'm trying to create things that can like that are affordable and like really help. So like for me, like the tent accessory kit, it's something that it can make a crappy tent, a decent tent, a decent tent, a good tent, and a good tent, a great tent. That's kind of the vibe.
yeah,
And so you got the tent expanders. The next piece is our bud buckle. So this goes on the top support beams.
I like those
Um,
too.
so these can support, each one can support 60 pounds. These things are solid. And then so instead of having to wrap over the pole and onto itself, which I just think is janky, you can attach to these. And then you guys probably wonder what these guys are for. So what I'll do is I unfortunately, like I said, don't have a pole, but bear with me here. Just take your excess rope that's always falling in the way, getting on your driver, just as a bit of
Yep.
an eyesore, curl it up, and you just simply hang it. Just hang it on the side, keeps it all out of the way.
Oh
And then if you want to
man,
adjust your light, you just quickly
I
bring
like
it down
that.
and you
Yeah.
just move it around. So just little things that I was like, okay, let's just make life a little easier.
yep.
I have a great one of my great friends, Josh, amazing engineer. He helps me with a lot of the CAD designs and getting it on the printers and stuff. And yeah, no, so it's super great. And so and then our
I
last one,
like that they have
unfortunately.
like multi-function. I like that.
Yeah, and then the
Yes.
last product, I think it's loose in my suitcase. I thought it was in my little goodie bag. It's not. It's called the Wire Ward, and essentially what it is it snaps onto the pole, very similar as the tent expanders, and it's got curled sort of guards like this, and it allows you to run your wires. So not having a zap strap and then cut the
Mm,
zap straps whenever you want to change your tent configuration.
yeah.
You can slide them
Yep.
up and down. It's just like a really nice way to like tuck your wires and it's kind of keep a clean tent. Because for me, like little OCD, love the tent looking nice and clean. You gotta have a nice garden. So
Yeah, I
um
hate when the wires are all over the place and like Mine's not like that now because I don't have everything set up. But
Mm.
normally, I got a couple oscillating fans. I have my light, my
Yep.
inline fan, and then I have like all the wires are wrapped around the poles on the top and then tucked in behind the poles and spiraled down the
Yeah.
poles. And it's just like, or like you
Yeah.
said, the zip tie straps or
Exactly.
whatever training wire I've used. And it's just like, I saw those on your website and I was like, man,
I'm trying to think of
just
the
thought
stuff,
of
man.
everything.
Or you're having power bars that are like hanging up the back wall of your tent because whoever's developing this product thinks a 6 foot long power cord is adequate, like crazy.
Right.
So all of our stuff's super long. I think we got a 10 foot on our 240 watt. I'm gonna up that to 12 next go around, give people even more room to change things around, to have
Nice.
different parameters. Um, I
Nice.
think I saw someone. I think it was it Canna Chris? I think I saw someone who was mentioning our LST ropes and our fabric pots. That's
Mm,
another. Yeah, I think it was Chris Canaflower. Yeah, no, Chris is in here right on. So another products. Love
he's
a
a good
good
dude
fabric
too.
pot. I'm a fabric pot guy, huge LST guy. So I was like, okay, these companies are making these pots and they don't have enough freaking holes. Need a lot of holes for tie downs for LSTs. I'm seeing guys punch holes into their, fabric pots. I'm like, that's crazy. Let's just make a
Yeah.
good pot off the rip. So this is our little 3 gallon we got here. Great pot here. It's 500 GSM, BPA free. I know guys are on their like 5th grow using these. So
Nice.
they're really wicked. Double line sewing, really good handles. So, can actually move them around. But so what Chris was talking about is we have our LST rope system. So essentially what it is it's a washing sort of safe rope more or less. And what it has what we've all seen on our jackets is it has a push tab for locking. So what you do is you simply run it through your fabric pot
Oh, that
like
is so
so.
smart.
Run it through your fabric pod
That
like so.
is.
I'm a fisherman. I can tie a lot of knots. I don't want to tie knots every day on a bunch of plants. So instead,
Right.
Exactly.
all you do is just pull it tight, and you're just going to slowly train your plant
Oh.
down. Which I don't have enough hands, but
So you
you
can
pull it tighter
adjust
till
as
you
you go.
Yeah,
and it sinks
I
down.
love that.
And then some people have seen
Beautiful.
this. This is we're actually submitting our patent right now. So this will be patent pending really soon. Is our LST clip. To most people, it just looks like a clip. But once again, I was just as a grower, I was like, why do I have to buy so many sizes, so many angles? I was like, let's try and knock one of those things out of the park. Can't size you can't change, but angles you can. So I made
Oh yeah.
I made a ratcheting LST clip. So it ratchets, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can actually adjust
That's
the level of
cool.
you can adjust the level of severity and bend that's in your plant.
Beautiful.
And so traditionally, when you
I
use
like that
LST,
because you don't always want to pull them down all the way. Sometimes you
exactly,
just
right.
want to
Mhm.
knock it over a little bit, So that's a
And,
great idea.
and when you look at the clip, right, it's putting a lot of pressure on that front part of the clip. So it's going to be on the front part of the branch. And then when you tie a rope to a plant, it's more so pulling on the whole branch towards the stem. So you'll notice that this has got a hole through the center. So all you can do is you can feed this through. I don't think I'll be able to feed it double ways, but I'll go this way. So if you have to pre-feed it, feed the LST rope through the clip, and now you're dispersing all of the force along the entire branch. And you can either use clip or you can use rope. So you're it's putting somewhat of pressure on the front part of the branch, as well as then the ropes pulling towards the stem or towards the trunk of the plant more. So
Hmm.
So you can
just little
pinpoint
things.
more where you want to train instead of just
It's
tearing it right off
dispersing
the
the force.
stalk.
It's dispersing the force, so they're not going to break when you're trying to over crank it, right? So like it's just
Yeah.
little things
Yeah.
like that that I think separate us a bit, like because like I'm always going, okay, like what else? Like what else can we improve on? And I also got to
Yeah, I like
also
that.
I got to make a shout out to, and not all of them are here. Have a great like little ambassador chat that I have like on Instagram with like sort of like my like original core guys, where I run a lot of product development. Like when I'm designing a new tent, for example, like all the new ports, all the door locations, like I'm sending them the drawings and like saying, hey guys, what do you think? Because for me at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I'm just one guy, I'm one grower, I have my own style. But as we know, like just like growing, like there's 100 ways to skin a cat, there's 100 ways to
Yeah.
grow, not more. And
Yeah.
so I like to talk to guys that, my background's more on the soil side of things and dry amendments. So I'm talking to hydro guys, I'm talking to guys running automatic waters. I'm like, okay, where do we need the ports here? Like what makes sense? Because for me, it's, you can maybe move faster, alone, but you go further together, right? So I have a great team.
100%.
Lots of them are in here right now. Also, our Discord chat as well, just launched that a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Shout out all the boys, but specifically Sky Flowers. He's literally helped me put the server on his back. He's got over 100 invites and is just whenever I'm not around, he's always answering questions. And guys are putting up,
Nice.
he's put up tons of seeds for giveaways. I'm not allowed to endorse giveaways for seeds, but I let them go. Just because it's a little different for me as a business, right? Like all it would take is
Absolutely, yeah.
just take one of the bad guys from one of the other companies, like seeing that and being like, hey, let's really let's go after this guy. So no, I got such a big, like, I do say I'm like a one-man show, but I truly have such a team behind me, and it's just growing more and more as people kind of hear my story, what I'm about, and where we plan on taking the company. Like, this product hasn't even launched yet. Like, it's just it's a small product in comparison to what I'm working on. I got our bar light, fully adjustable spectrum, every set of diodes that's on its own dial. So you can turn down the reds all the way when you're in veg. You can jack it up. As you do that, it changes live on the smart screen, your spectrum. It also shows you your PPFD reading. So you don't need to get under there with your reader, always checking.
Nice.
So at least that's a benchmark to show you. And so, these are just things like that we're working on and just trying to just do different. I'm like, okay, like all these like some of these companies from China, they're like full spectrum light. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's got like all colors of the spectrum, but it's not truly a full adjustable spectrum.
I was gonna say, in order to be a true full spectrum, I think you should be able to adjust it like you're saying. So,
and this is each
good on
diode.
you, man. I like that.
This is your 3000 Ks, your 5000s, your 630 and 720 or 720s or 730 NMs, and then your UV diodes. Yeah. You can adjust all of this, and so that's what I think is gonna, like, stuff like that's gonna be quite cool. Chris, Chris, you have my address. Yeah, guys are waiting for this thing. I'm literally like, I was up last night till 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. actually before taking my flight, chatting with the distributor. Like, I was like, Kate, we need to add a longer power cord. I'm really trying to, so what I try to do is I find a company or a manufacturer with a good starting product, and then I kind of tear it down from the ground up and get, okay, so I found a company with a good fabric pot. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you all my dimensions that are, more inducive for, let's say, on the smaller side for auto flowers, or, for tent dimensions. I'm like, okay, we're gonna add more LST eyelets. So I kind of start with a basic product and I go from there. So this light's really great, but I'm like, I want a removable driver. So bit of a
I was gonna
language
ask you
barrier.
if I had that.
Yeah, they don't quite understand the value in it. So I'm getting my sample sent to me, and then me and my engineer are gonna rip this thing apart, and we're gonna see if we can figure out a way. First iteration might not have it, just because I'm still small time, right? I won't be ordering a ton of them, but
of course,
if I jack up the order, I think they'll find a way. But yeah, that's just kind of how we do things. Just, always just trying to innovate, bring great products to the community at an affordable cost with great warranty and great customer service. Like, when you message Gambit
there's
Grow,
nothing, honestly, there's nothing more that you could ever want in a company. You just
100%.
hit the nail on the head right there with all of those, checked all the boxes. So
no, I appreciate that. And like, I'm in the midst of right now too, joining my local fire department too. So like, for me, like, this isn't just a thing where I'm like, okay, I just need to make money. It's all about, the bottom line. For me, it's like, I know it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm starting to see just such buy-in from the community when they hear what I have to say, and they see our products too. Like, it's not just the sap story of like, the guy started in his grand's garage and he's, built by growers for growers. Like, the products speak for themselves. Like, I'll put my tent against any tent manufacturer, and I think I'd beat them. Like, when you add in the accessories, you add in the price, like, I truly, because like I've tested every one of them. I have them all in my garage.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I go, okay, you guys did this good. You did this good. You did this good. I also thought of 2 more extra ideas. I'm going to combine them all. I'm like, that's just, how I try to do things. So yeah.
So what was the moment? What was the moment that, or the motivation that was like, okay, I want to help the community. I want to start a company. I want to, like, what was the motivation? What was the aha moment that drove you to that?
So, trying to get better at not dropping names of other companies. I've done that before, and I'm trying to be bigger than that. But I had some companies in which, like, their oscillating fan just stopped working, or another company where their driver just crapped out. And I'm like, and just how they dealt with it and how they handled it and how they took accountability. I just at first, like, was very poor. One of them actually, like, made good on it because it was such a bad product. Like, it really bit them.
Yeah.
But so I think we can all put 2 and 2 together. And I was like,
I
and I
was
was
gonna say,
spending this time.
way to be discreet about that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, and like that was, I was still like the business, like I was working on Gambit, but I think it was more so like, you know, I wanted to create good products. And I actually started this company like um in my MBA and during my master's. So I got my master's in global business at the University of Victoria. And
Nice.
so yeah, it's kind of funny. Like did a ridiculous amount of schooling and then started a cannabis growing equipment company. And then just if you like once people get to
Love
know
that.
me, they realize, you know, I care about the not only just this community, but communities in general. And so my mom was a nurse and my dad was a firefighter. And so, you know, I just had a bigger calling. I just said, you know what, I don't want all this pressure on Gambit. I want to do something else that supplements it, that also keeps it fun and light. Mind you, I
Yeah.
still work an insane amount of hours on it, but when you don't have that pressure, when you have that stability somewhere else, it just allows you to be so much more free with like creativity and all that stuff. So I didn't want to go
I think it
work in an
allows you to be able
office.
to take your time on things too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Where like if that was all you had, it's almost like, okay, I gotta hurry up and get this product out now, now, now. No time for testing, gotta get it out. You know,
well,
where
we see that now where like, you know,
all the time.
I think I just saw one of our favorite companies release a water sensor today for reservoirs, and it doesn't monitor pH. I'm like, that'd been such like an easy thing to add in. Like, why don't you
Right.
take your time and create a really good product as opposed to offering one initially and then offering additional versions so you can get people to buy in more, like rolling out smart controllers every 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
you don't be like Apple, don't be like Samsung where you're gatekeeping like technology. If you have the good technology, just release it initially, right? Like I don't understand that. And so I
Yeah.
hope people start to understand like kind of why we're different. But so what I was saying before, that's kind of why I just decided to follow my dad's footsteps and become a firefighter. And so I'm really just excited to, you know, be able to give back to my community in that sense, then also give back to this community by just offering great products and stuff. So
Yeah.
I got a question. So I've been yapping so much, so I probably missed so many questions in the chat. So I would love to like,
That's
Funny
okay.
tries to pop them up.
yeah, pop them
Yeah.
up and like honestly stop me at any time. Be like, yo, Connor, like, because you guys are pros. I'm still like new to this, and like, but so I guess back to your aha moment, like it was like when I was growing for a family member, and I was like, products aren't great. Was slowly starting the business, and as we were rolling out, unfortunately, one of the big players became a much bigger player, and I just saw how they were doing things. I was like, I want to do it differently, and then the big aha moment when I was like, I'm finally onto something, and I gotta really shout out L's just been an absolute like godsend. Guy's an absolute beauty, super
Oh
legend.
yeah,
Like he
he's a good dude, man.
he didn't
He
flex
is.
his following or his podcast when he bought gear from me. He just paid full price and like wasn't asking for handouts and has just been so supportive. Has introduced me to like the whole podcast, you know, because I part of me also lives under a rock. So I'm always just like working on products and stuff, but I realized
Yeah.
I have to do things like this, and this has really helped the business in the last 4 months. It's getting out there, and you know, lots of people in this chat
Absolutely,
too
yeah.
are huge champions of the community. Like you guys do so much, but there's also so many people in your chat that have huge followings and are so passionate as well. And they've been
Yeah.
just stewards of
Yes.
Gambit and helping too. Like so many of these people were not customers 4 months ago. Now they're part of the team and all that stuff. And but yeah, okay, I get so off topic. So I think Ohio asked a question as in regards to what
Yeah.
dials we use. So a couple years ago, I had heard rumblings and done some deep research that Samsung was pulling out of the game. People thought I was
Yep.
crazy. We're like, nah, man, Samsung, like the 301 H's and
They're the
Evos are the
best.
best thing since sliced bread. I was like, yeah, but I was like, guys, Samsung makes like wash machines and TVs like by the millions. Like, you know, this is such a small portion of their market. Like, and
Yeah.
I'd heard things from reputable sources. And so we ended up going with LED Star. And like once I said, like I have another friend, very good electrical engineer from the University of Victoria. We were taking apart our competitors' lights. We were ordering different diodes and testing. So we went with LED Star. It's a really, you know, it is a Chinese diode, but longer warranty than Samsung. It's within 2%
Nice.
efficiency of Samsung, way cheaper. So that money that I save, I just add more diodes to the light. I give it back. So for me,
Beautiful.
like I have a lot of guys who like go like, man, like your 240 watt, like there's no way this thing can like do a 3x3 or a 4x2. And I wish like if I was on my big setup with all my computers, I could share screen and stuff. I have so many guys who eat their words like, man, I never turned this thing past 80%. Like this thing's on steroids. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, that's what happens when you use good components. You see companies that are like lying about wattage or number of diodes or diode quality. Like I see numerous lights that are, they say the 301s, but they're 282s or whatever the smaller, or 281, whatever the smaller
Yeah, because
sensors are.
the regular normal person
Won't
would
know.
never be able to know that, or they wouldn't even know how to know that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Which product are you most proud of?
Sky Flowers. Yeah, which
Yeah.
products are you most proud of?
It's honestly probably the one that gets the least amount of love because it's got so much competition. And it is that light. That light, I spent so much time. Like, there was a time where like I was trying to even build the light from scratch, and like there's videos I have on my phone of like having my big snowboarding goggles on as we're like wiring the lights, and lights are jumping up and with the engineer. And then, so then we ended up finding our supplier who had a really, once again, great baseline product, but he was using the Samsung diodes. And I was like, we got room on the board. Like, I also don't like the configuration. I wanted to stack them more in the corners, so the par map was a lot better. So I don't know what it is, but everyone just got a hard on for bar lights. And you know what? I think quantum boards don't get enough love, and especially on the smaller grows. And so we made just a really just affordable bang for your buck, just deadly light in the 240 watt range. That is, it is a pretty large pretty large footprint. Like, it's a 24-inch, I think, by 12-inch light. So it does cast a really great
It's a good size,
bar
yeah.
map. Yeah, so it's really great for 4x2s and 3x3s. And like I said, like there's the diodes are clumped way closer together in the corners and along the edges than it is in the center to try and create less hotspots. So like, I was literally, adjusting the layout constantly, trying to get like a really, really solid layout. And that's just the different things that we try to do, is like really just think like, okay, how can we make a really solid product here? And so the light, I'd say, is most proud. Tent is also a huge thing. Like, the bud bunkers are sweet. Like,
Yeah.
also love the
They
name.
look nice. Like, I was looking at them, and I've never seen them in person. I've only seen pictures of them. But even in the pictures, like, you can tell by looking at some tents, you're like, oh, they just look so cheap. You know what I mean? Like, your tents, they almost they look rigid.
They're like
Even
a
in the
bunker,
pictures, they
man.
look rigid.
They're a bunker for your
Yeah,
bud, dude. Like
I
the
love.
name is like
Yeah,
it's
I like
totally
it.
was by design.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Um,
I like it.
if you guys mind me asking, and I don't know if you guys whereabouts are you guys located?
I'm in Ontario,
Mhm.
in southwestern Ontario, and Bunny's in
Okay.
northern Ontario.
Northern.
Okay, right on. Okay, I saw the Green Planet flag in the back, and I just didn't know if you guys were in BC. But so Steve, the owner of Green
No.
Planet, he also owns PNW Garden Supplies, which is like a big store
Yes.
like in BC.
Yep.
So he's got our tents in their showroom. And so for those who know Steve, like, amazing
Nice.
pedigree, amazing grower. He's also
Nice.
he's running our light and tent at his own house, growing tomatoes. I think he's doing a little vegetable garden inside as well. And he wants to move a lot of his
Nice.
gear over to us, and like, he's really impressed with the quality. And so to have a guy like even that, who's just been around the industry for so long, has seen, all the tents, all the lights, and be like, wow, like, we like this young guy. He's a hustler, he's a grinder, like, his products are great. And so yeah, we're in their showroom now, which is really awesome.
And
And
they're such a great company and
Mhm.
so community driven too, which is
Exactly.
amazing.
Absolutely.
And
Their
so yeah,
whole crew is just great.
yeah, we're
Yeah, we
super
got to meet
lucky
a
that
bunch of them. We got to meet a bunch of them last year. I
nice.
don't think I met Steve, but wow, we met Justin and like a whole
Yep.
bunch of his staff. Like, no, I don't even want to say staff, like his team,
It's like a
family.
family team. Yeah. I haven't met
I was
Justin yet,
gonna
which is
say,
crazy. It's like, Justin's like one of the most like outward facing guys of their team. And, he's been out and about
yes.
doing stuff, but like, it's something that, because I'm on the island, I'm not where their stores are. So I do trips over there. And,
Right.
but yeah, no, it's super cool. So we're in about 5 stores now in BC. So I'm trying to
Nice.
get into more stores across the country now. So those in the chat, send me a message on Instagram. If there's a local store you think would be a good fit for, like, let me know. For those that help me get into stores, I do send people nice things. I take care of those that take care of me.
Absolutely. Yep. Nice. That's
Thurgood's
cool.
asking a good question in regards to diodes more concentrated at the ends of the bar as well. Yeah, it will. And I wish there was a way to show this well. I might be able to show my phone. I'm going to show you guys the par map that we've done for our testing on this light.
Okay.
Let's see if this will show well. Let's see how that will look.
So let's do
Focus up.
this.
Okay.
So that's in a 5x5 at 24 inches. So pretty wicked par map at 24 inches in a 5x5. So the light's gonna have a 4x4 footprint. So the idea for it is it's gonna be on like steroids for a 4x4, but it will work, and it's gonna be priced well. Like like comparable 4x4 lights. What it just means is you're just never going to jack it very high. Like you're probably going to never see it over 60-70% because it's in a smaller area, and it's gonna be great
Which
for
I'm perfectly okay with that. I think it extends the length of the life. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you're
exactly.
not cranking it up all the way all the time, like
Yeah,
you
which
can turn your stereo up louder, but it might not be a good idea. You know?
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want your 250 horsepower car running at 8,000 RPM, or do you want your 500
Right.
horsepower car running at 4,000 RPM? Right? Like it's all about
Yeah.
longevity and stuff. So it's like for me, I'm always going to over engineer than under engineer. Did I really
I like
need
that.
like? I'm going to take our tent. I'm going to see how much weight it can truly hold, because it can obviously hold me, and I think it can hold a lot more actually. Does it need it? No, but for me, I'm just like, let's over engineer. It costs
Yeah.
a little bit more to go that much, to be that much thicker. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's do it right. Let's do it. Let's do it once. Let's do it
I'll
right.
get up there. I'll get one. I'll
Oh
get
yeah,
up there. I'll
man.
hang from
Honestly,
it.
I'd be pretty sure, Ganix, we could both hang from a 4x4. I
That's
would not be
crazy.
surprised.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. I definitely weigh more than you do. So I mean,
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. But yeah, do you guys like, is there anything else you guys wanted to kind of touch on? Like I just kind of start yapping, I get kind of carried away, and
oh, that's cool, man.
like I said, I'm running on so little sleep. I had a quick little nap. And but yeah, so pumped to be
Um,
here, and like
That's
this
good,
is
man.
great.
yeah. So you said
I
you
definitely.
were a grower
Oh,
before all this. How
Mhm.
long have you been growing for?
Pretty much since, I think, since legalization. So I'll be honest, I haven't done like a crazy amount of runs, because like we've kind of like, when I was growing with my parents, like I see so many guys that like have like 4 or 5 tents, and I'm like, they just do it because they love it so much. Because I'm like,
yeah.
that's so many plants, that's so much work, and like I get it, and I would totally be that guy, but it would just take away from the business. But so when I was growing with my parents, it was for a family member, and so like it was always just like very like sort of like run after run, and it was just always like kind of what we needed. So yeah, I started growing with them, and was a huge proponent of when I was started, was watching every Mr. Canuck video under the rainbow,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
dry green dry amendments. We all, we've all watched those videos and stuff. So a lot of my
100%.
style is very similar to his. Tweak things over time and stuff. So we do carry also some fertilizers or dry amendments, or
Yeah, I
so we
was
do
looking at
carry
that actually. You guys have the Gaia
whole
Green on
whole
there.
Guy Green line and the entire Green Rush line. Love Joe from Green Rush. Guy's an absolute weapon. He's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
been a big
He's
brother.
such a good dude.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. He
he's
made
been
all
a
of my banners too. He's great for making banners.
yeah, he's the man big time. So yeah, he's been like a big brother in the sense, like really helping us navigate Amazon and stuff. We just launched on that a month ago. Just actually last weekend got approved for Prime. So when the new order
Hell yeah.
comes in, gonna be doing that.
Blasting off.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're trying, right?
That's how
Um,
you know you made it as a business. You're on Amazon.
yeah, it's some legwork for sure. But yeah, no, it's worth it. I'd rather be in all the local grow stores and selling direct and supporting, the community more, but I get the
Absolutely,
convenience
yeah.
side of things. So yeah, we carry Guy Green's entire line. I'll price match
That's
anything
crazy.
pretty much, as long as like I'm not losing money. Like for me, I'm just like, I sell Guy Green because I think it's a great product. It's come under new ownership, and it's also just costs a lot more now, unfortunately. So you guys have probably, like those who grow with it, have noticed um, that it's jumped in price a bit.
That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to carry from
And I
one company there.
and I'm a 28-year-old guy funding this all on my own. So I
Wow.
really I bet on myself, and I just said, you know what, like, did I probably bite off more than I could chew with the amount of SKUs? Yeah, but I was like, you know what, like, just like the Greeks, burn the boats, man. You'll figure it out, and that's kind of what we've done, and so we're getting there.
Yeah.
And Mine Cannabis, nice website. Thanks, man. Taught myself
It
how
is a
to,
nice website.
yeah, I taught I taught myself how to build sites. I used to actually, prior to this business, I actually ran a marketing agency. So I'm like, it's actually
Nice.
crazy that we don't post more content, because like I'm like a 10 times published like sports photographer. Like the camera
Crazy.
gear I have is outrageous. So like Mr. Canuck type videos is like, it's totally my wheelhouse. It's a matter of like where I live. I'm in like a great 1 bedroom, and
Right.
I'm in a sixplex with a bunch of like 40 to like 65-year-old like single ladies who are great and like they're like my moms, but like they would be so pissed if I started growing weed in the basement. So out of respect to them, you know, the hope is once I'm on the department, you know, get a little chunk of property where I'm warehousing everything and
Yeah.
having multiple tents, testing multiple products, doing tons of seed to harvest, like kind of like what the micro guys do. Like they're testing other things in the industry. Like for me, I don't want to just be like push my products. Like I always want to just like test other things, tell people like what works,
Yeah,
what doesn't.
absolutely.
And then, you know, when I find things that do work, say, okay, how is there a way that I can implement this without like, let's say, stealing ideas? Because that's something I'm like not about. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of sort of how I sort of function and run. So
I think that'd be cool too to like just to be able to have your tents where you work. Um, like, man, if I could have my tents where I worked, you know, I'd be a much happier person to work with for sure.
I get you. There
You
is
know what I
talk.
mean? So
Gran is also a huge gardener. So her and I, like, I ran so
nice.
even before my marketing agency. I ran a vehicle vinyl wrapping company throughout my college degree. So I actually was the best installer in Canada. I trained guys how to wrap Justin Bieber's and Drake's cars. I helped work on Dead Mouse's
Crazy.
Ferrari. So like I've had a pretty cool, and like I ran that company out of her garage. So her garage just had multiple stages. So it was like pretty much a car customization, you know, garage during my, I guess I was 19 to 22. And then now it's come full circle. She's in her 90s, huge gardener. And so now it's just like stacked to the ceiling with product. And, you know, she's a big orchid grower.
Awesome.
So her and I got into that 10 years ago when I moved to the island to be closer. So we both have
How
tons of
did
orchids.
how did
And
she feel when you were like, Grandma, I don't know how to tell you this, but I want to run a company that specializes in cannabis growing equipment. Like, what was her reaction to that?
honestly, so supportive. She's like, honestly, like, besides probably like, you know, my mom and my girlfriend, like my biggest fan, like she just believes in me entirely. And like loved having Coastal Car Apps. That was like that business. Like we won best. I was best installer in Canada. Like at like nine, I was like 20. I was like the youngest winner ever. She was like, she was having like Teslas and Corvettes and M3s taken apart in like her garage, and she only had daughters. And like I come to school like on Vancouver Island where she lives, and like all my aunts and my mom are like, yeah, Gran, like, you know, like you just got to help them with this outlet. Like you have this space, you're not using it. So it took a while because she's pretty particular, but it just helped us grow our relationship immensely with that company. And then now, you know,
Nice.
I'm fulfilling orders there every day. Like I ship out everything. It's all in her garage. So our LST clips I print in two pieces. Her and her carried like because they get kind of bored and they were like, we just puzzle all the time. We'd rather help the business. Can you give us jobs? So like they put together the clips and they put them in packs of 10. So like
Love that.
she's older, she's in her 90s, a bit of dementia. So it's like things that are like mentally stimulating. So like
Yeah.
anyway, like
Yeah.
even if it's something that I could do in 1 minute, but takes her 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, Grant, I'll just let you do it. Like whatever. So like we're a
Yeah.
team. She loves it. Like there's banners hanging in the garage. She loses all her clippers because of dementia, so she's got an endless supply, and she steals all my Gaia Green and Green Rush. But that's what she bills me for rent. So
She's got beautiful plants, doesn't she?
oh, she does, and I'm actually like her gardener now. Like she used to hire a
Nice.
landscaper, and I just said, hey, Gran, like let's just do it together. So she pulls up a chair and just kind of bosses me around, and I just weed and do things for her. And like
Nice.
I know pretty much every name of
I
every
love that.
flower in her garden and stuff, and it's just kind of cool. We gotta do it together. So she likes it. She's actually wanting, like, I'm kind of joking about it because I'm doing more orders now, so I'm there more often. I kind of want to run a tent in the garage. I kind of want to do a grow there. It's just in the garage, so there might be a Gambit Grow coming. Just like I gotta see when this order
Hell
comes.
yeah.
40-foot container. I'm stacking a 2-car garage. It's gonna be absurd.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Don't
even
know.
if you just had like a little 3x3 in there, you know what I mean? Just a small one, couple
Yeah,
plants,
or a 4x4.
or 4x4, or you know, maybe when
Or
you
like a
get your
4x8,
new
like, you know, like for me, I'm just like, I'm just an all or nothing type guy. But yeah, even just a little something would be great just to like get back in the game and also just show people like, hey, I practice what I preach. Like, I don't just say I'm a grower. Like I can grow. I can grow. So that's something
Yeah.
that's definitely on the list for sure. So,
Well, the fact that you can grow orchids, you know how many people can't?
dude, I have some that are going on 10 years old. Like, and also too, like Grant's
That's
giving me
insane.
she's giving me a lot of hers now. And she just pretty much what we do now is like when they bloom, I bring them back. So I just take care of all of them now because like she just doesn't
Yeah.
remember when she waters them. And so yeah, no, we're a good team. She's awesome, and like all my aunts and uncles are huge supporters. They all rock the clippers, and a couple of them actually also grow as
Love
well.
those clippers, by the way.
Yeah,
I love
they're
the
Yes.
the silver, like the steel. I love those.
yeah,
Yes.
these are great. These are like super affordable and awesome, and like they last so long. I got guys that have been beating the crap out of them. These are awesome
Can
too. I
you
love
like
this.
if you had a sharpener I know Fiskars offers one
Mhm.
just as a name. Um, can you sharpen those ones as well? Like later on, years down the road? Oh,
These
nice.
set screws, I made sure most of them. One couldn't have screws, so you can't take them apart. The ones that couldn't have screws, it's a rivet. But so what I did
Right.
is I added. This is one thing too. Like my suppliers, like Connor, we already have a spring, but I was like, I want the spring to open up way more, so you can actually get a proper stone in there. So yeah, I come from a hunting fishing family, so we're all about sharp knives and stuff. I'll be creating a video on like how to sharpen all the stuff. This is just once again content is something I need to really start focusing on. It's hard to balance your time and being pulled
You
into
need a
Yes.
things.
list because I'm sure you probably have in like a mental list in your head right now of like 1,000 videos that you've said over the last like 6 months, probably of like,
For
man, I got to
sure,
make a video on this.
for sure.
You
If you
probably have
guys
content for days up in your mind.
No, exactly. And you know what? If I was at my house doing the interview, you'd see a big banner on my back wall, and underneath it's a 6 foot whiteboard, and that's where I have different sections, and it's trying to like put it all because it's like yeah, it is kind of crazy because you know
Yeah,
I still have my
the
marketing
idea board.
agency. I also have a hunting and fishing apparel company. I have Gambit, and then I also play in the summer times. I play on the Western Canadian Pro Tour for beach volleyball, and so
Crazy.
Nice.
I'm a busy dude. I do a
Busy,
lot.
busy.
It's like,
Yes.
So
how do you even have the time? Like, how do you have time
Do
to
you sleep?
well, the last
work
2
on
weeks.
grandma's garden and time to have a girlfriend and time to be a firefighter and like all these like how do you manage your time in order to do all this stuff?
I don't watch much TV. Like, or if I do watch TV, I just like have it on an extra screen. Like I have a 3 screen, like a 40 or a 50 inch or 40 inch TV up top, 32 inch and a 20 or a 28 inch. And so I'll just throw something up top because like I currently like live on my own. So it's just nice to have some background noise sort of going on. And
Yeah,
I kind of just like I'm in our Discord, just kind of chatting with guys, and our Discord's honestly just a great community that we've just built in the last couple of weeks. I think we're at 200 over 250 members now. And
nice.
yeah, it's just like I'm always like, hey guys, like working on this product, like what do we think? And like I get votes up, and like it's super cool. Like I feel like because at the end of the day, like I'm not here to make products for me. I'm here to make products for the
Right.
community. So I'm selling to the community. So like, why wouldn't you ask the community what they want and listen to them, right? Like so many times
Yeah.
you see companies that are so disconnected from their consumer base, and yeah,
Or
it's
they put
just
out what they think people need. That's what I love about your lineup of products. Like every
thanks, man.
single thing that I've seen is is necessary. Like it's an important part
Yeah,
of our garden. Even the corner clips, you know what I mean? Like those corner I can't remember what you called them.
tent expanders.
Yes. Those
Yeah,
right there. Like I can't tell you how many times I've seen my tent just like caving in on itself and I'm like, man, you
yeah.
know,
So
and the
it's there's
wire
always
clips. So like everything that you make is like super functional in a garden with lights and wires and
I
all this stuff.
definitely like
So
the training
yeah.
pot,
yeah.
rope, whatever.
It's a whole system, yeah. Like I just because I'm a huge LST guy, I over veg like crazy, and then I'm like, I flip to flower, and I go, holy shit, what have I done? I like, I need to freaking LST this out, and I was like, I need
Yeah.
all the things, and that's kind of like how that came about. But
No, it's a
yeah,
great idea though.
and like there's like more things working on in regards to like the tent accessories. Like I'm working on like pretty much a drop in, like it's a pretty much a T connector that goes into the corner of your tent and allows you to drop in PVC, so you can actually create your own CFM kit. These companies that sell a CFM kit for like $60, I'm like, that's absurd. I was like, I'll just print
Yeah.
something and let people go to the hardware store, grab a 1 inch PVC. And what it can do too is because we run a lot of side doors, it's a drop-in system. So if you open your door, you can just go, just pull out the one, and you can then walk in your garden. So there's little things like that that are just, and then I
Beautiful.
have a version that's enclosed for if you want like a to run a scrog system. So then every like inch you put a screw, and then you'd wrap around the PVC your wire, and you cross run it, and then essentially you have a grid system that's tension in all corners, and it slides up and down like with your grow. So for me, it's just like you'll look at like my website and you'll be like, Connor, your kit's like, why isn't there an inline fan, or why isn't there an oscillating fan? Like, why isn't there an inline filter? I have all the connections to get them. But the thing is
Yeah.
I couldn't find any that were good enough that I was willing to put my name on. And for me, like
Right.
you know, my word is my bond, like my name and like my character and like what people
Yeah.
think of me like means a lot. And so I just was like, I'm not going to compromise that. I'm not going to have a weak link in our kit. Mind you, we're filling that gap on this next order. Super stoked on a lot of the new
Nice.
things that are coming. Yeah, for me, I'll never compromise that for the community. For me, I'm just like, I always want people to be so confident when they choose Gambit, because I do know like it's tough times right now. Like we're in a recession. As much as a lot of politicians won't admit it, like times are tough right now. And
Yep.
disposable income isn't what it was during COVID when there was a huge boom, and I unfortunately wasn't around.
Right.
So now it's just like, what, I just want to
I
be there
love
for
the
you.
fact that you're also a Canadian company. So when I do make my order, I'm not paying these outrageous tariffs and
Extra.
crazy shipping costs,
Mm-hmm.
What I will say about the tariffs, and a lot of people don't know, and I got to put this out there, is we get exempted because we're under the $800 USD threshold, and all other companies are
Oh,
too.
okay.
So like direct to consumer stuff, totally fine. When it's like, but like for me, if I was to send all my product to a store, I can't get into American stores right now because that's when we get nailed. You break that threshold. So
Right.
the Americans out there,
Yeah.
Canadians, if you're buying cross border, if you're under that $800, you should be fine. Don't quote me on it, but that's like what I've been told and what's been coming up on my accounts. No one's been getting nailed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know, actually.
And so, and
That's
tariffs,
really good to know.
yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things. And if anyone has any questions on the tariffs or anything, or just about our products, like guys, like message me on Instagram, Facebook, like Discord. Like when you message a Gambit Growing or X or Threads, there's so many of them. If you message one of those accounts, it's always me. You're not talking to anyone else. And I think there's also something special in the fact that like, hey, like you're between like, My Light and like a different brand. With Gambit, you gotta like actually like, I can't give a crazy amounts of time, but I still do. I'm gonna be honest. Like I always make time for people. Just reach out to me and just be like, hey, like why you're light? Like why this over this? And there's been times where I've been like, you know what, for your setup, that light makes more sense. Like for me, I'll never like compromise my values or my character to make a sale.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm joining the fire department. So I never have that monetary pressure where I have to compromise those things. So
Beautiful.
That's great.
Really.
So speaking of, we usually ask our guests all this when we come up to the hour. You've mentioned you're on Instagram, Discord, so on. Is it under Gambit? Is there certain different names? Where could the community find you?
yeah, it's so if you go to Instagram, Gambit.growing. Sorry, I forget because like I remember my old I'm so ingrained on my
Yeah, well, we
old
get
name,
it.
I
and I've
know.
just added dots. So I think it's Gambit.growing. If you go there, our website's there on our link tree there. It's got our X, which we're trying to grow out more. So if there's anybody who's big on Twitter and wants to like give me some tips on how to do that, that'd be awesome. Our Threads is there, our Discord's there, our Facebook's there. We sponsor tons of different Facebook groups as well. Like I sponsor a lot of grow offs. And I'm all about giving back. So find us there. The Discord's honestly, that's the spot where like we're hanging out a ton and just chatting. And I try to get in other servers. Bunny's also the greatest at wishing everybody good morning and all the servers and just spreading the joy. I
Yeah,
appreciate
she
it.
is. I'm the worst.
No, I'm the same thing, dude. I'm
I'll
like,
give a good morning like twice a week.
yeah, I've honestly
And I'm like,
just
oh shit.
I've been ripping the good mornings this week, kind of just flexing, being like, it's 4 a.m. I'm still up, and the guys just love it. They're like, dude, you're a menace. I was like, I'm working for you guys. We're creating good products.
Yeah. No, that's
So
awesome, man.
yeah, no, just that's pretty much where to find me. Gonna be hopefully rolling out YouTube here shortly, getting back into some long form,
Nice.
putting some content out there. Like,
I feel
yeah,
like YouTube's a place to do it nowadays, man. I feel Instagram is more like a place for us to advertise, and YouTube's the place for content.
for sure, I
Unfortunately,
agree.
because Instagram was a very fun place at one point in time, and it's just they've made it so hard for us. And
The one,
I can't wait until you make a YouTube. I think that's going to be really cool.
no, thanks, man.
I
I want
definitely
to be
want to
like,
see some of these video editing skills put into play.
yeah, for sure,
Yes.
man. And like, and for me, it's gonna be cool. Like, I still want to be always front facing with the brand. Like, I always want to have people know, like, hey, like, Gambit Connor, like I always want to be like, present in the community. It's not gonna be one of those things when, maybe we make it like some of the big guys and I just disappear. I don't ever want that to be a thing. Like for me, this is like, there's so much passion and drive with this business. So yeah, I do want to kind of be, narrating the grows and talking about the things that went right and things that went wrong. Cause like, you know what, fortunately, we see a lot of where it's just like perfect grow after perfect grow. And it's just like, Like I saw you
Yeah,
started that grow, and it never really the video never came out. So like for me, it's always about like it's all about education, access to education, and you know explain the good, the bads, the ugly about everything, right? And just being just genuine and
exactly.
transparent. And that's just how I like to run. And you know what? Are we gonna maybe lose out some sales because of it? Maybe, who knows? But you know what? For me, that's more important. Is never compromising. So
Exactly. I love it. That's a perfect,
Yes.
perfect place to end tonight.
love
Absolutely
it, guys.
perfect.
Yes.
An hour on the dot, hour and 5 seconds. Look at us go.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
say you got to keep me on track. Look at me go.
Yeah, dude. You clutch at the end, man. I'll give you that one for sure.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. No, but we appreciate you coming on, man. I think
Yeah, it
you
was
got
a
a
lot of
real
fun.
inspiring story.
I appreciate
I
it,
think
guys.
I think the passion behind your products is amazing and everything that you stand for. Honestly, like I said earlier, you checked all the boxes of a company that people want to deal with. So I think that's absolutely amazing and keep doing what you're doing, man.
No, I appreciate it, guys. And I hope I was able to let you guys get a word in. It's easy for me just to yap away.
Oh
But I
no,
will
that's
say
It,
perfect.
as to everyone in the chat, can't thank you enough for coming out and supporting and just, listen to me yap on for an hour. But I am running on a couple hours of sleep, so I wasn't the greatest at looking at the chat. So if anyone's still there and wants like has questions and I miss them, like straight up go to Instagram, Facebook, like right now. I'll answer them in the next hour. Go in our Discord. I want to make sure
yeah,
no one was missed. I value your guys' time and appreciate you guys tuning in and all that good stuff.
that's cool, man.
Muskoka
All right,
Grower, one
brother.
of our very first customer guys, a weapon. Love that. Had to shout him out. But yeah, guys, thanks so much
He's
for having
awesome,
me.
man.
Yeah.
He's
He
another
is.
cool dude in the community doing a lot,
Oh, for
putting
sure.
all kinds of content out, collaborating content. I think it's great that he's
Yeah.
bringing people together to do what we all do anyways. So let's get together and do it. So
We
I
need
think
more of that
he's
for
doing a
sure.
cool thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yes, sir, we appreciate you coming on and till next time. And I think there will be definitely a next time. So
Guys, like
Yes.
when all the lights and stuff come in and the grow's underway, you know what? We'll do the next one at Grand's. We'll get Gran on the call. I've told her about the podcast.
yeah.
That would be
I gotta watch. I
so
gotta
cool.
watch. I'm gonna watch some with her because I'm actually gonna go back to all the ones I've been on and kind of grab some snippets and do some posting because
Yeah.
I think there's been some absolute gems, and I definitely want to see how much obviously I want her to see like how much love people have for Gambit and also show her like how much love I have for her and I always shout her out and I think
100%.
she'd get a good kick out of that and then bring her on a show to yap away. I think I can yap. Geez, we'll get Grant on a
Oh
podcast.
yeah,
All
man.
the orchids.
We got to make it. We got to do it this way. I definitely want to be the first podcast that Gran comes on. So
Done. We'll make it
when
happen,
she's ready,
guys.
we're ready. We'll make it happen.
Okay, when that next
We'll
order
make it
comes,
happen.
I'll let you guys know and we'll make her happen. But once again, guys, thanks for the opportunity and can't thank you guys enough
Absolutely,
for this
man.
awesome community you guys
And
build
thank
and
you for your time.
no,
Thank you.
anytime, guys, anytime. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the chats and tuning in the coming weeks here.
Oh yeah, man. All right, brother. You have a good night, and hopefully you get lots of questions, and hopefully you get a good night's sleep because you've been up.
Yeah, man, I'm up. I'm definitely probably see my eyes are slowly fading, but you know what? You guys brought the vibes and the energy, and it's been great. And I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity and for the chat once again, just for tuning in and you know listening to some small town kid from Western Canada just talk about his passion. So I appreciate it big
Hell
time.
yeah, man. Hell yeah. No, we appreciate you coming on, man. And you have yourself a good night.
Okay, you two guys, take it easy.
Later, dude.
Bye now.
Good night. What a great episode. It flew by.
It did. He's such a good dude.
I'm gonna have to like go look at everything now.
I was looking at the website before we started, and I really like the look of his stuff. Like I've never had it in my hand and never felt it for real, but
Yeah,
you can tell a lot of times by looking at a
very, very
product,
humble.
how good it is. And yeah, he's super super humble, and he's a
So
firefighter.
speaking of humble, next week, do you remember who we have? Because I do.
Yep, I
We
do.
have Mr. Bingus
Yes.
coming on. Bingus Bongus. It's time to hit the bongus coming on. So yes, Bingus will be on with us next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. And thanks everybody for joining us. Friday it is Show Your Grow. We would love to have you and come show your grows. And yeah, until then, I think that's pretty much it.
Yes, yes. And I think Bingus said to me the other day, I got a little something that I'd like to give back to the community, and I'd love to do it on your show. So there might be a giveaway. Just maybe. We're just gonna say he's super, super generous, and this is something that he wanted to do. So this was his idea. So I'm looking forward to it. And he's got so much information in his head. It's not even funny. And I can't wait to hear all about it. So
And
yes.
on that note, thank you guys all for being here, and we will see you Friday.
Yeah. Come show your grow. Peace.